When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Black and I'm proud. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. Become a part of it. Embrace it. 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 When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you. When you claim your Africanness, you're going to get your mind back. Black and I'm proud. Claim your Africanness. Black and I'm proud. I'm telling you.
Peace, 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 and power, family. Dr. Daw in the building, y'all. Here we come. Queen of B, speak to the people.
What's up, people? Listen, I'm in Baltimore, so I'm excited. I'm in the Be More Studios. Y'all know how it is. So I got a little Be More green. I'm repping a organization in Baltimore. And I'm feeling real Baltimore. It's cool. I got my fireplace on. I'm ready to go. It's 10 o'clock. We're about to do this digital healing hour. About to talk about some great stuff. A psychosocial analysis of the assassination of the United Healthcare CEO by Luigi Mangione. He sounds like a mafia, bruh. That sounds like a mafia dude. But anyway, that's what we're doing tonight. We're going to kind of break that down because the media is glossing over it. But there's some stuff we need to talk about. So, Dr. Dennis, don't mince no words. Winkler is in the house, and Queen of B, we about to go in. Let's go, Doc.
Am I in the mic, y'all? My technician on the other side. I got to start off the show saying something about it, right? Ain't that how I do? That's how I do. Last week I wasn't in the mic, Queen.
You wasn't.
Nah, I wasn't in the mic. It sounded good though. It did sound good. I give you all. It sound okay. But I'm hoping I'm in the mic this week.
You're
right?
in the mic. I can hear you in the mic.
Okay, I'm in the mic. I'm in the space to be. JT Coin Rings, what it is, B.
What's up, JT?
Yeah, family. We want to talk about this thing. We want y'all to join us today as well. I just got off a show or episode of go over there to our family member Bob Imhotep in the People's Station, the School of Urban Philosophy. Go check that interview. Well, that wasn't an interview, that conversation me and the Baba had. It was a really good and powerful conversation, family. Right, family. Also, we got lots of things coming up. Just if I can throw some things in there, Queen, I always forget about some things. You know what I mean? While the people coming. Family, go ahead and share this show, like this show, share this show, like this show, send it to your friends. Also, Queen of B, if you can put the link in the place to be, y'all can join us on this conversation because it's not only a psychoanalysis. We kind of need y'all energy, right? We need, if you don't want to come in on live, you can turn your camera off as long as we know you're human first, right? And then or a respectable person somehow, And then two, you can put like Queen say, she's amazing. Ain't that? I said, she's amazing. That's how she says about people. So she really loves her people. Every time I talk, look for y'all who she does interviews with. Every time I talk to her after she does an interview, she's like, she's amazing. He's amazing. So she really likes y'all. She really digs y'all. You know what I mean? I'd be like, they ain't all right. They all right. I listen to my man, the D, just about my co-boxer, the dressed up dope fiend the other day. You know what I mean? My man dressed up dope fiend all up. He worldwide dope fiend. You know what I'm saying? My man all around. My man talking about he in Philly and Canton. That ain't too far. That's still kind of. Are we good?
We good.
Okay, because I saw something chopping. So he that's the closer regional asset. My man up in what's the other place he said he was? Ohio, not Ohio.
Camden. Yeah, little Puerto Ricans going down.
Yeah. But what's the place? What's the other place though? What's the other place? Like Camden and Philly ain't that far.
Ohio.
It was like somewhere far. Or it sound cold. Like he all out there, you know what I mean? Picking up dope, you know what I mean? But anyway, I mean, I appreciate him. I appreciate the brother and the stories. The sister, check out our other people on the platform, family. Make sure you subscribe to Black Box Radio, family. Queen getting this thing popping, y'all. Give her a round of applause. She doing her thing. Our CEO, Queen of B, is doing her thing. You can see by the fitted. You know what I mean? She got the whole thing going. But nonetheless, let me get back to what I was saying. So,
yes, but
family,
I'm glad you said that though, because we're growing the platform, guys. If you guys, if you have a show and you think that you can come, you want to do it consistently every month, we'll develop it. We'll do the back office. We'll be partners. Come be a master partner with Black Box Radio. We're looking for content. We're looking for good people. Come through. Black faces. We got an authentic space for a black face. Come through.
Yeah. I mean, Queen of B doing a thing. I'm so excited for Black Box and where we going. You know, see. I look. I'm a team player. Y'all don't even understand that. Y'all don't even understand. Hey, look. I was just talking to Bob M. Hotel on the other side. He told me, he said, see, the traits I exhibit is modesty. Then you know what he said after that? Ain't no place for that.
That sounds like him.
I said, look, my father said it too. Like, you know, I told, because I said, look, I'm gonna be honest with you, I still struggle with this idea about whether people think, you know, I don't want people thinking I'm thinking I'm here and they there and all this. He said, people know you, and that's just affirmation. They know you. If they don't know you by now, then that's something they got to work on.
That's true.
So I take it. I told y'all the elders told me.
I agree with that.
What the elders tell me? What you agree with, Queen?
That, you know, if they don't know you now, then they need to get to know you, because you about the people. You community man.
They ain't gonna never know you, right?
Down, roll up for you. Yes.
Yeah. Let's say check the track record in the resume. You know what I mean?
It's all there, baby.
So and it's all about community. You know. So nonetheless, so we're gonna have this talk. So real quick, family. TNAT, it's going to have 7 days of Kwanzaa. Make sure you come out. 7 days of Kwanzaa. Go to TNAT Holistic Wellness Center on Instagram, or go to Dr. Dennis Ausar Winkler on Instagram or Facebook too, all that type of thing. And, you know, go and see what we got going on. Give us a call, 410-777-5020 if you want no more details, that type of thing. But nonetheless, we want y'all to join us in on this conversation today.
We do.
And again, it's entitled A Psychosocial Analysis of the Assassination of the United Healthcare CEO by Luigi. I don't know how to say the last name.
Mangione. Mafia boss, baby. He sound like mafia.
Y'all black people love mafia boss. You know what I mean?
I don't love that. I'm just saying, he sound like Italiano.
I think that's a fact. But anyway, has some ties to our local area here in Baltimore.
Yeah.
And
very rich family.
Yeah. So the way I want to kind of look at this thing, I guess, is when I say psychosocial analysis, it's not so much about him. It's not so much about the man who was murdered. I know lots of times what I see happening out here is that people are, for the most part, trying to say whether or not this is what he did was justified, if it's righteous or is right, or should he have done that? And some are saying, well, yes, and some people are saying no, and some people are happy about the actual. They like, look, they have joy about the death of the CEO, and not necessarily the death of the CEO. I think again, we really have to look at this analysis and not get caught in people's games. As I was just talking about to brother Baba Imhotep 5TU, I read this quote that I put out, and I realized we really don't take this thing serious. We talk a lot. What I mean is, we can articulate things, but we don't necessarily always comprehend the very things that we're talking about. We talk about capitalism all day long, but we really don't understand capitalism for what it truly is. So I put here on this post, and guess what? I put out lots of posts, and people tend to like these posts. This is one that didn't get no love, especially with my Facebook group. See, my Facebook group, they're a little bit more family oriented. And my Instagram people, they like halfway slick and halfway, you know, they kind of like a little. See, Facebook, all the different platforms got different energies.
Yeah.
If I put on something about self-care and stuff like that on Facebook, it'll blow up. You know, love your family, it'll blow up. If I put love your family on Instagram, ain't nobody trying to hear it. You put family photos on Facebook, you get 1 million likes. You put a family photo on Instagram, you get that's all right. If you put up some real revolutionary stuff on either, but if you put it on TikTok, baby, TikTok, and how y'all say it, baby, how y'all say it? TikTok, baby. If you put it on TikTok, they got some people over there that want to that got some revolutionary ideas at least, or thoughts, or at least they you know, I don't know what it is, but nonetheless, they at least they like the post. They, you know, how revolutionary they truly are. That's another thing. But anyway, this is the post. This is how it goes. I said a major problem is that many of us haven't realized that capitalism is a real form of warfare. Let me say that one more time. One more again for the people in the back. A major problem is that many of us haven't realized that capitalism is a real form of warfare. You know, that's a reality, y'all. Like, I think this would stop some of the conversation that we're having, or some of the shallow conversations that people are getting tripped up on. And I understand why people are getting tripped up, because the reality is we don't really want to see this system that we operate here in the United States as being a system that wars not against, but on its populace. And I'm saying in the most literal sense, in that people feel oppressed, even the people who fight for the very oppressive regimes that are there. And I'm saying it doesn't matter which side, if you are the status quo, Democratic, Republican, whatever it is, if you're the status quo type of person, you are one that supports capitalism. In fact, we try to justify, well, we're in a capitalistic country, so we got to do what capitalists do. I mean, if you wasn't just trying to get a car or a house, I mean, I maybe I could get down with you a little bit. But the reality is, everybody's okay with capitalism until they get their claims denied. Everybody's down with capitalism until some bombs are dropped on people in another country. This is what it takes to maintain capitalism. Capitalism cares nothing about its people. It's about the people who benefit from it most. People are tired. This is a psychosocial analysis.
Wait a minute, Doc. I gotta ask you a question. That's heavy. So you're saying that the activities of this country is why we are so comfortable in our capitalistic ways. Capitalism, yeah. So it breeds this type of warmongering and taking advantage of folk. If you're not doing that, then capitalism cannot flourish. So
it's a scarcity model
until we don't like it.
It's a scarcity model.
Wow.
People say,
wow.
Some of the reasons why people support capitalism, because they believe that capitalism has driven some of the most of the advancement that we find, because there's a competition. So it has people at odds with one another to outdo one another. It's what got the United States to the moon first. It's all these type of things that, some of that's symbolic. Like, who cares if you went to the moon first? Like, what the hell did that do for us?
Thank you.
It just said, well, look, it's symbolic. And I don't know what the guy said. What was it, Kennedy or somebody? One step for mankind and whatever, something like that, right?
Yeah.
But people starving. We went to the moon.
Yeah.
We went to the moon, but people are starving.
Yeah.
We went to the moon, but people aren't getting treatment in medical facilities. We have probably put so much money in finding different ways to outdo people in this country and outside of this country.
Yeah.
But we haven't found a way to actually take care of the people in the country. So people are tired. Whether or not they are, and I'm saying for the most of the populace, they vote against their own interests. It's not just white people. It's just not poor white people voting against their interests. It's black people, middle class, lower middle class, upper middle class, all of that type of thing. All right, so JT Fact says capitalism is an economic system where private individuals and businesses own the means of production and prices distribution and determined by supply and demand and free market. Okay, thank you. Thank you for the definition. Yeah, all up in there. All up in there. All up in there.
Yep. And the main characteristic of capital is the drive to make a profit, baby.
And I don't know where JT is going with it, but it's just supporting what I'm saying.
Yep.
The main characteristic of capitalism is to drive to make a profit, not to save your life.
Yep.
The main idea of capitalism is to, what he says, drive a profit. And even more than that is to control everybody. The profit is one thing, but it's also to control. The empire of the world is the quote unquote United States. And guess what? I said something last show that doesn't even all completely hold true when it comes to the healthcare system. Because if you really, we do want to be like I said last week, we're like traveling peasants, or we're the enslaved with the most benefits, but healthcare ain't one of them. Because European countries and other countries have healthcare for all. Even some of the countries that we don't necessarily think and we speak against, they also have healthcare systems that are more advanced than ours, and we call them third world countries. But people are tired. This is hitting people in their not only in their pockets, but it's really hitting people. It's taking people's loved ones out of here. So what am I saying? I am saying capitalism is warfare. And as what has been coming out is that United Healthcare has algorithmically declined claims. That right there is inhuman.
I think it's they actually declined the most claims.
Say it again.
I think I've seen when they've declined the most claims out of most insurance companies. They're the highest in claim dismissal.
Right. So people are fighting whether or not he's justified in what he's done. And then they're trying to flip the script even. They're saying, well, he came from a wealthy family.
Yep.
So the craziness about that is the psychology that they're trying to use the same script that oppressed people use, what they tell you not to use when you're using it. Now they're trying to say, look at him. He comes from a privileged family. But the same people that now are pointing this out are the same people that tell you that there's no white privilege, there's no privilege, there's no all this identity politics and all this type of thing, and then they start, the people who tell you that identity politics is fake are the main ones using identity politics right now. It's called, I get to use identity politics at my will. I don't want you to use them to blow my stuff up, but I want to now utilizing like even people now, black people are voting for Trump. Like that's you're talking about what black people are doing. Oh, he comes from a wealthy family. Okay, let him be Robin Hood then, goddamn it. I'm not saying Luigi is Robin Hood. I'm just saying, well, whatever the BS that people are putting out there, that doesn't matter. Tucson Overture came from wealth and prestige as well.
Yeah.
I'm not saying Luigi is that. I'm not saying he's not that. You know, I know a lot of us. They
Remember that he's the alleged. He's not.
Look, he's did it. Okay, let's stop it. I mean, I don't know. He did have a different coat. You know, Luigi did. Luigi, man, I don't know if he did it. I mean, if he didn't do it, he got a good lawyer.
He got the money to get one.
Look, alleged. We on Black Box Tech Radio, so we got
alleged, bro.
Alleged. Well, Luigi. Let's change his name up a little bit before we won't be talking about Luigi. Luigi, I did it. No,
JT Cohen said he did it.
Hey, but you know, the facts is what okay, going back to capitalism is it is violent. Capitalism is violent. And then people like to say, not this the what's happened with this CEO is not justified because we have a system here of these things that's called a judicial system. Queen, am I breaking up again? Am I breaking up?
No, you're pretty good. You're paused. I think it's shut.
I'm paused.
On the
I don't know what's happening. I don't know what's happening here, Sister Queen. You go ahead. You take that a little bit. Let me see if I can get it together.
I take that. What am I taking? I think Luigi Mangione, whatever his name is, if he didn't do it, he know about it. And I mean, I do not think that you should go around killing people just because you don't like something they're doing at their company. I think that's a problem. That's behavior that we have to quell that type of behavior. But I understand when people get pushed to the corner. And it's just like a rat. You're going to bite your way out. And I think that we got to reel this insurance. The insurance needs to be revamped in this country. It was never meant to do what it's doing. But again, the reason why we're in this space, it starts with, you said, capitalism. Insurance and healthcare, they're all a part of the wheel that feeds capitalism. Other countries that have less than us have free healthcare because they're not living under capitalism. And so capitalism is the dog. And now we see all these puppies around. And listen, Luigi said enough. We're going to make a statement. And so unfortunately, a young man lost his life. But the situation has to be talked about. I think that it's more than just he killed someone. He was making a statement, and he was trying to wake us up. Unfortunately, it was a deadly statement.
And guess what? If let's say it comes out that Luigi wasn't trying to make a statement.
Really?
Yeah, let's come on. Let's just hypothetically go there. He was, although he has a whole letter and a whole type
joint.
of thing. He, all that going on. It still made a statement.
Yeah.
And one thing people say, is it right or wrong? The reality is, it happened.
But if he wasn't making him a statement, it made one.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I don't think even if he didn't have that objective, it did. They
happened
the way they do business. I promise.
And this is a small thing.
Yeah.
What I mean is, it's a statement, and people say this was it didn't do anything. I say that's lies.
That's lies.
Because people will say that the Panthers didn't do anything. I say that's lies. People will say that Malcolm never did a thing. I say that's lies.
Lies.
Because these things drove other decisions to be made, even if they were beneficial or not. But the reality is, nothing goes without some type of consequence, with some type of awakening. There's a requirement for some type of something to happen to bring about real change. Is this one of those things? I'm not sure. But what I am saying, I agree with what you said, is that it was bound. I believe this is what you said when I came back on. It's bound to happen because the conditions were ripe.
Yep.
And it's going to happen and continue to happen as long as people are being played with.
Yep. It's always one that starts the pendulum. And so this is what we see what's happening now. Dr. Mott says, is there an existing system you two feel is more equitable? Now, that could be research. I think there are existing systems. I think capitalism is the problem. Socialism, peopleism, humanitarianism. We could do a lot of things that's better than controlling and hurting others.
The problem, I think, with that is, I think that's a real good question, right?
It is.
I would say that there's capitalistic systems that's better than this.
Ooh.
There's other forms of capitalistic systems
that is
outside
not
of the United States that are better than this.
Wow.
And then there's other systems that I would say, how do we quantify what is better? There's things that are absolutely better. Now then we have to talk about how do you protect those things? Because a capitalist system is a pyrrhonic system, which also has the ability to destroy others. It's not about life. It's not about life per se. There are other systems where people are living more equitable, people are living more whole. There's traditional systems that are definitely better. You might call them antiquated. Oh, will we go back there and all those type of things, right? I think that there's whatever the system is, this ain't it.
Even if we create something and tweak it and make it substantial for the population and for the anomalies of this country, I think it's better than what we're with right now.
Yeah. And I think that's a really good question, though, to be honest. And I'm certain that Dr. Maya is coming from a real place, because that is a question. I think that of course I can go back up and I can literally go into my African Senate box, right? But then people want to say, how do you protect that, right?
Yeah.
But the reality is, there are systems that are better, but I do think that, as you said, we have to create those systems.
Yeah.
And
it's very hard in this country because not only does the system play a part, but the inequities and racism and the other isms that play a part to make capitalism very marketable in this country. Because that's the problem. So we have to get rid of our thought process and how we think about each other and humanity too. Even if we build a system, because the system has to be equitable for everyone, and that's where we are. We don't have that.
And I think when you're talking about it's very difficult. You have to war with these systems, though, to create those systems.
Yeah.
And sometimes those systems are being snared upon, because when you create these systems like what the United States has here does its best to strangle the hell out of them.
So true.
Whether or not you call that socialism or what have you, or you call that what I'm praying for the dear brother in Africa, Burkina Faso, right now.
That's a bad brother.
I talked to so many people about what he is.
They gotta protect that brother. They gotta protect him because they coming.
Some people always say that. People debate whether or not what was going on in up in northeast Africa with Gaddafi was better. People would debate whether or not what was going on in even some European countries are better. They have co-op. There's plenty of systems, they are better ways of living.
He didn't have any debt. This man had no debt. He had no foreign bases on his land. His people, if you go, they made sure everyone in the country, if they came to the U.S. to go to college, they pay for college. If you want to be a farm, you buy the seeds, the cows. We talk about other people and what they're doing for their people, but I don't see nothing wrong with that. I really don't. If you look at Gaddafi's setup, look at the country now; it's in pieces.
But even the brother, what's his name, Ibrahim
Tory.
Okay, I know you. Yeah. Hearing about some of the things that he's doing there. All I can say is the little information I have about that, I pray for their success.
They got to protect that brother. Yeah,
and our success.
He's going hard.
You know, so it's a war. That's all I can say.
Yep.
On a micro level, I can share all types of systems, even traditional. I can share even some European in Poland and different ways how they live. I mean, they are better ways of living.
It is. I think he's talking about Ibrahim.
What system do you endorse, Daw?
Yeah.
That how long ago was that? Was that a while
ago? Just a while ago. No, that was right when we were talking. Trying to find out. People they want to hear difference.
I would tell you,
we don't have a marketplace.
It's not necessarily
talk about difference.
It's not, and I fear to even name systems because people their immediate thing is to say, look at this and look at that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So,
yeah.
But what I will say is more than thank you, more than what system is that I endorse, I think it's about knowing that this system isn't working in what system that we like. I think that even as Black Africans in America, I'm fleshing this out here now, it's incumbent upon us to literally think about these things. And why? Because we are where empire is.
Yeah.
And we have, to some degree, we have that level of leverage. Lots of other systems are being truncated and demolished, destroyed due to the fact that the reality is the superpowers of this particular world in this particular country or that we live in, it don't matter what system that you utilize, they will try to keep you.
Yeah. It's going to get predatory. Yeah, it's going to be predatory and malicious. Believe that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think there's going to have to be some protective measures. It's going to have to be some protective measures, whatever system that is. And also there's going to have to be some humanity at the same time. I think when I look from an African-centered standpoint, that you had to do both. And I think many times we try to do one or the other, right? So we try to go so far back in antiquated things that's just not going to work. But I think there's things that we can pull from history and what people have done indigenously, but we also got to be able to, and I'm not saying this in a way that just because it sounds like what I'm supposed to say or what have you, I'm saying it to me. What am I saying? I'm saying that we do have to protect ourselves. We do have to arm ourselves. We do have to do all these things. But I do think it's incumbent upon us, since we are right here in Empire, to be a part of that idea of what that system looks like. Proper Perspective says universal health care is a solid social net should be the crux of whatever system that is endorsed or strived for. Yes,
I agree.
Yeah, and I think we have to fight. I mean, because we can't act like whatever you try to create this utopic that they're not going to try to destroy.
True.
And we have to understand that as people, that this system right here, where we live has a good way of becoming the moral compass of the world, although it's done so much damage to the world.
Yeah.
And somehow we truly believe that this system is righteous, although we know it's not righteous. It's like we're in an abusive relationship with this system. We have to hold I think that we have to hold this system accountable in a way, because this is empire. This is the superpower. This system will try to obliterate anything that will challenge its economic power, its global power. It's so whatever, and not just this system, because there's other people waiting. And even BRICS sounds really good, but do I really trust all those people, all those different countries in BRICS?
No.
They talk about the East versus the West.
Russia.
But I do think that we should challenge some of the ideas that we have about some of these countries in the East that are trying to do things differently. Because I am sure that we all been spoon-fed all types of things about China. We've been spoon-fed all type of things about Russia. We've been spoon-fed, especially all these things about Africa.
Yes.
To us, Africa, as exploited as it has been by all these different European and even Asian countries, somehow they become the most corrupt. They become the most, and what I mean is, this is the picture that's being shown. So Absolutely. It's not saying that you can't find examples of that, but the thing is that we don't realize we don't talk about what preceded and created that.
Absolutely.
Me and Bobby Imhotep was speaking about today. The same thing that happens in our community, just like this young man here. What's his name? Luigi. I can't say his last name. Mangione. Thank you. I mean, when you think about it, well, and not in this case, and I'll just be honest with you. Part of my, and I don't even do this, but psychologically, I'm curious to whether or not, if Luigi was a black person, would we be thinking that he's a revolutionary? You know, but I do understand that some of us wouldn't, because that's how race shows up in this country.
Yeah.
As I just spoke on Bob's broadcast earlier, is I do think race is the number one organizing structure in this country. Class might be right there along with it.
Gender, all of that.
You know what I'm saying? We see, I think sometimes we utilize gender and all these other things as distractions, although they're important. Sorry, y'all. And sometimes we use these things to fight against each other, but we don't talk about class and race. This is what I spoke about a little earlier. We don't want to talk about these things because these things require us to make structural change, real, and not point the fingers at each other.
Yeah.
See, gender is easy to point the finger at each other. Class, you got to point something at a system. Racism, to a great degree, you got to point something at the system. Go ahead, Sister Queen.
I want to kind of go back to, like, even if the system were to change, say capitalism was to, we were to look into that, we still would have to change our mindsets too. We would have to change how we do things, how we eat, how we take care of ourselves. How do we divorce what the system has brought to us? So we got to look at that too. Is even if it's simultaneous, though, can we do that? Can we stop eating the way we eat? Can your kitchen be your hospital?
But I think in order
to
do that,
something better, can you get rid of McDonald's? Can you do the chicken box? So it's a lot of things that we say capitalism, but the things that this country is bred to us, the diet that we're consuming, so many things that will keep us out of the system, but we become prone to it because of our own habits. And it's structured that way. So can we change ourselves too? Because I look at a lot of people know they don't eat right. They still do it because they like it.
Well,
we gotta get some discipline too.
Please help me out. I'm finding it difficult to kind of make this connection between eating chicken boxes and capitalism.
Because I'm saying, if you don't need much health care if you eat right. If you look for the fuels, if you deal with the fruits and the vegetables.
Yeah, I thought that's what you were doing.
Yeah, so I'm thinking that the way that we mentally present ourselves, we have to change.
I get you. I like this. Let's do this.
I like the food. I'm talking about not just the food.
Let's do this. I'm talking about us. Let's have this conversation. This is beautiful.
Let's do it.
See, that's what I was talking about. See, it's so easy for us to go back and point the finger at us.
I'm not pointing the fingers at us. I said, can we do it? I'm not pointing the fingers at us. Not our fault.
Okay. You're not intentionally doing that, but that's essentially what you're doing.
No. I won't.
You want to ask the question? You want to say why? You want to say why?
I'm saying the question is, can we change?
Well, the thing is, let me show you how you said it, though. You said, even if we change, this capitalism, even if we change it.
Can we divorce our habits?
Okay, so all right, so let's stop right there.
Okay.
If we change the system,
Mm-hmm.
if the system have changed, there had to be enough of us to change in order to change the system. There's not going to be a change in the system until enough of us are ready for the change.
Maybe.
So what I'm hearing is if the system changes,
I don't think we have the power to change the system.
Oh, we do.
We do.
Who else has it?
I'm not sure who has that power, but I don't know if we could change capitalism. I don't know if we can change that.
I'm not saying you can do it. I'm not saying you can do it like this. Who else? Who created it?
I don't know.
Some people.
Some people.
There was things before capitalism that people did before capitalism.
True.
And that people were saying the same thing you said. That I don't think we can change the system.
When I'm saying that, I'm saying how structured it is, how militaristic it is. They've
been militaristic for a long time and very oppressive.
Oppressive it is.
I mean, if we could change the institution of slavery,
we can change that.
People were saying even then that we would not be able to change that. If you can get out of feudalism and all these other isms, you can change that.
Ashe.
Everything that's been designed by the human's mind, which is as we were talking about earlier, which is a social construct, can change.
Redesigned.
The reality is we don't believe that there's anything outside of this system. And part of it is that's part of what keeps us in this system. We believe that the way that things have been the way that things are running is the way, and it's invincible. Dr. Amos Wilson often talks about the boogeyman, and we think that we give white people more power than they truly have. And in this case, I'm not even just talking about white people, but we're talking about the system that really benefits, or I don't even know if I want to call it benefits, but people, the minority wins financially when it comes to power, finances, and all these other things, while the majority suffers. That is tantamount to what we found on plantations. That is tantamount to what we saw in South Africa. That is tantamount to what we've seen, where people the majority suffers at the hands of the few.
We see it now, Congo.
So we have to understand that we can change. It's kind of like when we at work and somebody wants to create a union on a more micro level, and people like, we can't change this system. If we create a union, we're gonna lose our jobs. And if enough of y'all Negroes stand up, if enough of y'all stand up, if enough of us stand up, enough of us can make the change. JT Fax says, are you being one-sided, dog? Aren't there good parts of capitalism? There's good parts of poison. I'm sure if you extract certain elements out of poison, it'll be good for you. I'm certain there's H2O in poison. You understand what I'm trying to say? If you go into poison, you might get some H2O out of it. You got to filter it. You know what I'm saying? But there's good stuff in everything. You know what I mean? I mean, but holistically, what is it doing to us? You know, there's good stuff in everything. Would you say there's good stuff in socialism, communalism, communism, feudalism, any other ism? There's good stuff in Christianity. There's good stuff in Islam. There's bad stuff in all of it. There's good stuff in this white education system, and there's a whole lot they're doing with it that's destructive and destroying. What does it do? The idea is there's good stuff in gas for human beings, but would you drink gas? If you keep drinking gas, you probably won't survive too long. So there's good things and lots of things, but the good thing ain't doing the thing.
Question answered.
My brother JT.
Come back, JT. Come on back. Listen, I put the link in the chat, guys. You know you can come on in. Don't be scared. Dod's on fire tonight. Don't be scared. He can be handled.
I don't need to be handled. I love my brothers and sisters. You know,
If you're on
You know,
Facebook, I'm about to
hey,
click. So go to
you know,
YouTube and check us
yeah,
out. Either Dr. Dennis
uh, you
Ausar
know,
Winkler or
and,
Black Box Radio. Check us
and
out.
we definitely want to hear y'all because you know, some of y'all are really experts around these things.
Yep.
And I think as we work together to identify these things, we can make change. We have to believe and know that we can make change. And I'm not saying no optimistic BS. But first of all, we have to realize we definitely have to do some things different. It ain't talking about no chicken boxes. I'm talking about we will have to do some things different. Require us to jeopardize and sacrifice our lives while we eating the damn chicken box.
Did you talk about the chicken box?
Yeah, we might have to eat some yakami. If y'all ain't from Baltimore, y'all don't know what that is.
No. Baltimore.
You might have to eat some yakami, some shrimp bag food young. You know, I mean, I'm just playing around. I mean, but you might. But what I am saying is, in order to bring about real change, you're gonna have to do some real things.
Yeah.
And it's going to happen.
It's like revolution, though.
Because you can't continue to put your foot on people's neck or necks, and they not find out at some point that you've been holding them down the whole time. And I'm telling you, it seems that we're at a pivotal point right now in history as it pertains to these healthcare systems that look, if the brother goes to jail, even if he gets the death penalty, I am telling you that it has made enough of a impact that this will not go out with some change of shift of thought. And we have to shift
up a lot of things. I mean, they've taken all of the names of CEOs, boards off of websites.
Yes.
They're protecting. He's changed a lot of things. And they've also stopped denying. And they have a memorial on denying. You can get anything approved right now. So, you know, sometimes drastic measures matter.
Yeah.
They matter.
This Eurocentric culture, absolutely. Drastic measures
matter.
Especially because he's a white boy, I'd assume. That's my thought.
That helps a lot too.
I mean, thank you. I mean, I think white boys have to jeopardize their lives too. So, but what I'm saying is, the question people are being asked is whether or not they have any empathy for the CEO.
I
do. Say it again.
I do. Mm-hmm. But I understand he's part of the problem. But I do have empathy for someone losing their life executed in a hotel. You have children. You have a wife. I have a family. He's somebody's brother. I do have empathy, but he is part of the problem. And I think this guy was making almost 300 G's. I mean, and that doesn't matter. He shouldn't be killed because of that. But I do think that
is it G's or millions? I thought.
I say yeah, but I think he had $1 million payout and all of that. You know, the million stuff. I mean, he's making money. Don't get it twisted.
Part of the issue I see here that this is more of a class struggle than what people are saying when they're talking about healthcare.
Yeah, it's more of class.
I think we're looking at this thing in a very isolated sense, but I do believe that this is more of a class thing. And
what's symbolic though, is the young man is rich that killed someone rich. You know, you would think that, you know, he doesn't have to worry about healthcare.
But they said, well, people,
statement.
But they said people who are in that level of, they still struggle with those healthcare bills.
Wow.
Because you can easily go through your coffers pretty easily if you have cancer.
If you get sick, yes.
And they deny your claim. You might know, right. And this country, people, especially if you're in the financial world, you'll realize a lot of people are struggling. In fact, that the struggle is, I want to, I read the comment and I got thrown off, but I want to say that the go ahead. No. It's good now, but I forgot the question. But what was Papa saying?
He was talking about I saw this too. One healthcare company reversed their decision not to pay for anesthesia after the shooting. Yeah, they were getting ready to have hearings on this. They weren't going to pay for anesthesia anymore. Longevity for a long amount of time. Had to be a certain amount of time you get your anesthesia and you get off. And that ended. They're now paying for it. I think I think it's really shooken up because they never think they're invincible. Like no one's ever going to stand up.
Everything happens for a reason. That's what my African spiritual people say.
Yeah.
So I'm not going to change it up because it fits like well, yes, I feel sorry. I feel sorry if I go out there and die tomorrow. I will.
Yeah.
Hopefully, if I die tomorrow, I'm talking about to something that I went out and it makes a change. It makes a change some kind of way. Dr. King had to die. He knew he was going to have to probably die.
Yeah, revolution matters. You got somebody
Malcolm had to die.
Yep.
Now that guy who died, he wasn't none of them.
Nah.
I'm not saying he wasn't good to his children, but he wasn't good to a lot of other people's children.
That's the truth.
And the reality is, in this culture, it's okay, but I choose not to adopt this Eurocentric. I don't think it works for us. This version of Eurocentric culture, because in Europe they don't have. They don't. A lot of them don't have to worry about this.
But no one says that. You don't hear the media talking about him and what healthcare and the company that he was on the helm of. No one talks about him hurting other people. It's always senseless killing of the CEO. It's so simplified, but it's bigger than that.
But then there's this other thing that they're talking about as well. I'm not sure. I don't have a lot of information on it. Maybe that he and some other people were actually selling shares because they knew that something was going to go down with the stock market as it pertained to the business or something like that.
Wow.
So
insider trading. Listen.
So I mean, I don't know much about it, but what I am saying is lots of times to get up to certain levels of being a CEO, you weren't really it's war. Let me go back to that. Capitalism is war. It is competition and it hurts people. And hurt people will hurt people
all day.
And I'm saying I'm literally saying that and guess what? Let's say he was a good guy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say that. But he is a casualty of the system. Let's say he was the most beautiful and pious and he even wanted to change the system. He could have. I don't know him. But at the end of the day, he was still a casualty of the system we have set up in this country.
He was a player too. Not only a casualty, he was a player.
I'm saying give him the benefit of the doubt. I'm saying just hypothetically, he was the most pious. He had a halo over his head. He walked next to Christ.
Not too close.
That he was a casualty like Christ was.
All day.
Christ died for our sins, supposedly. He died so that there can be an awakening of how the system is railroading people. So if he was this pious guy, at least, I'm not saying he is, but look, he might be the reason why there might be some change, at least in the healthcare system.
You're giving him a lot of love.
I'm giving hypotheticals.
Okay.
This is a psychosocial analysis for our brains. Some hypotheticals would be that let's say he is the most pious. And he was even going to kick down the walls and all of that. And he was trying to allow more claims to be paid and not fatten his pocket, but to literally make sure that people are healthy in this country. He died for a cause then. Because I'm certain that in order for real change to happen, history would support it, that something has to happen. Something drastic has to happen. People don't make changes unless they're kind of forced to. They ain't giving up their bag because they ain't sharing with you because they want to make sure their children are doing better than your children.
All day.
Yeah. So I see it from all sides, and there was some questions around empathy. I kind of before people were talking about it, I realized a lot of people didn't have empathy. In fact, they said the most empathetic. So now the most empathetic people don't have any empathy because they feel like there's some justice done.
Finally, somebody stood up. That's what they're saying. Like finally somebody did something.
And really, the fact is that they do have empathy. The reason why they feel what some of them have called joy is because they feel like this this might bring about change. Like literally, I think that they feel for the many people who have health conditions that are overlooked, not being paid, being this. So the joy is that perhaps change is coming, not that the person was killed. I've been looking at, checking in on some of the conversations where they try to pigeonhole people into these boxes of whether or not they're happy the person was murdered. I'm not happy that whether or not a person was murdered or not, but I'm hoping that it brings about some level of change for a bigger cause.
True. I agree. It's a lot of murders going on, and it sees how they have capitalized on this one. But New York City is not new to murders or executions at that. But it's telling how the media what is important and what's not important. And they've shaped this conversation, and they actually haven't delved into the very surface, but shaped it in a way that the young man is a predator and the CEO was a victim.
Well,
he was a victim, but he wasn't victim, but he was a victimizer also. So we gotta talk about it.
I think that part of the issue is that's not the I'm not sure if that's the what can I say, the overarching or the greater narrative is that the young man was a predator. I think the problem that mainstream conservatives are having at this point is that people are actually rejoicing. And what they're trying to do is saying the people are rejoicing due to this dude being killed. I think people, to some degree, I don't think it's about people being killed. I think it's more about people rejoicing about perhaps what might come about as a result of this event. Yes.
Yeah. I think that's what it is. It's the outcomes. People want better outcomes, and they feel that this drastic move
they want to be heard.
Exactly.
And they feel like that someone went out with a pistol and spoke for them. And now it's being highlighted. Whereas people are saying, well, there's ways to do this, right?
Oh, we got a hot one. She says, I'm sorry, go ahead.
If people, okay, it's like, let's read the hot one. I think it'll take me back to what I was about to say, I think.
Well, she said, I'm not happy, nor do I condone his behavior, but if people don't have empathy when Black people are killed by police violence, etc., why should I expect it to shed a tear? And this is a real sentiment.
So there's all types of reasons why people are struggling to be empathetic. And people would say, well, the most empathetic people in the world, I think this is what I was going to say, are now not being empathetic. So what they're trying to do is play this game on you, but they don't realize that you can be very empathetic about people who are oppressed. Because most of the world is oppressed by a few. So when the few finally gets his hand in their perspectives, they rejoice because they finally got dealt with. Not saying this in this case that this is even actually what's happening, but people do feel rejoiced because they feel oppressed. Simple as that. Whichever form of oppression it is. What I'm saying is, it speaks to there need to be a shift in the culture, not just healthcare, but healthcare is one of the many systems that need change. But
Yep.
if people are rejoicing at the levels that they're rejoicing, that it is indicative that there needs to be a shift. And I'm hoping it's not an interest convergence, but it likely would be. It likely will be if we're not wise. And lots of times we see, like what they did at Attica in prisons, like in New York, and all those things when they took the guards hostage and all these type of things. People speak very negatively about these incidents when they're happening. But if you look back at it years later, and people can talk about it and say, "Wow, well, those prisoners were being treated badly, and they would being this was happening and that happening," and now you can understand it. People would then they would look back at what happened with let's say even people during the time when people were being enslaved by this system of oppression in America, that if you were enslaved, you tried to escape, you were diagnosed as having drapetomania and other forms of illness because you want to fight back or even escape. So what I am saying is this game has been played forever, where they tried to diagnose the victims. And I'm saying in this case, I don't look, just because the guy had money don't mean he wasn't the victim, or just because, or he wasn't fighting for, or he was, he had a paradigm that said he's tired of this shit. And maybe he was fighting with his own demons. So it's all types of ways you can look at it. He's fighting with the demons of his parents, even. Like, you never know. Like, he might have felt privileged. Whatever it is, you can flip it all types of ways. But what I'm saying is, it's always the rule book is to diagnose those who commit certain acts like this as being defective, violent, and all these type of things, while the systems that create these conditions in a violent, like it's the most. Just think about it. A lot of these politicians who have no problem with people dropping bombs all across this world happen to be the ones that's talking about this.
Absolutely, that's the truth.
You know what I'm saying?
So hypocritical.
How dare you?
I'm telling you.
How dare you? Like, you're talking about one person. And I'm not even saying his one life didn't matter. But what I am saying is, you're talking about one person and compared to the many thousands of lives that you, on your watch, are aiding and abating, if not also partly pulling the trigger. And many of you pull triggers. And one of the major things to rise to the ranks in politics in America, especially to become the president, if you were a former military, that means you were a killer.
Yep.
And we know that America has been in so many wars that was unjustified. When you look back at it 10 years later, and we act like America not even admitting to it. The part of the problem of a narcissistic person is that they will tell you the truth, and because they told you the truth, you think that you can trust them. What they tell you is, we killed them. We did it. We bad. Now you say, oh, I can trust them. At least they told me the truth. No, people tell you the truth so that you can trust them, so they can continue to take advantage of you. And that's one of the errors I see in our community. Even many times people are like, well, at least he told the truth. No, he told you a truth because he's skillful. He understands that you will trust him because he told you he was going to cheat on you. Yeah, he did, didn't he? But he knew inside of your mind that made you trust him more. That made him, you want him more. It's all types of things. It's psychological warfare.
Wow, the truth is a scapegoat. Wow.
Proper perspective says the narrative of the elite always being untouchable is the way the media is leaning into, because of their shock that the elite can be taken out. And that is the truth.
That's the truth. That is the truth.
The empathy is for the losing side, the underdog, those who have been harmed by the Goliath of the healthcare system, and I'm going to say the Western system.
Mm-hmm.
This is one prong, one spoke of an oppressive system, which people have gotten to a point where they're tired of it.
Yep. That's true. Sick and tired.
And now people with quote unquote money and interest in homeboys are now trying to say, point the finger and say who's being violent.
Yep.
You know, and I get it though. It's like I don't want to get caught up with neither side because all of them are guilty.
Well,
They all are guilty.
The violent don't like violence. That's what's so amazing. The ones who are the most violent, they don't like any violence, especially when it comes to their door. No violence. But they're the most violent. And so that's what we see. We see a lot of people who talking who are the most violent.
Well, they're really good at calling out. They don't want you to protect yourself. I think like reframe this. The violent don't want you to protect yourself. The violent don't like after they keep hitting you in the head, you finally blow up. They don't they don't like that, you know, and then they weaponize. Look at them. I told you they was niggas. Excuse my language. I told you they were violent. I told you, look at them. And because it's kind of hard with this guy, so now they're looking like, oh yeah, look at him. He's wealthy. Look at him. Look, well, he's not oppressed. So in some way, even when they're saying that, they're even agreeing that they know that oppressed people would even have a better argument.
Yeah.
But they won't admit that if somebody from quote unquote oppressed group actually did it. He's not oppressed. Look at him. He's fine. Look, it's blah, blah.
We see that with Israel and Palestine too. Like how, you know, Palestinians, they come back and they blow up some folks, then they're the worst. So we got to get rid of it. But not the whole time they've been, you poke the bear, you continue to poke the bear. When the bear blows up, then they're the bad folks. So we got to be very careful.
And they're so tricky with their questions. Like even about, you know, let's utilize Palestine and Israel, for example, when you say, well, they say things like, well, do you support Israel's right to exist?
Yeah.
And I mean, they'll say, well, yes, I do think it's a travesty what took place, what's happening in Palestine right now. But would you admit that Palestine, Hamas was also what they did was wrong. Well,
on October the
7th or what have you, right? So the reality is it about right or wrong? Is it really? Can I really say it in that simple term? What I will say is that if you keep your foot on people's neck long enough, shit is going to happen. And guess what? There's going to be some, what do they call it when like in the hood and they do and they shooting for this one guy, but someone else gets shot.
Drive-by?
No. They call it they call it when somebody gets shot that you didn't intend to get shot.
Oh, I forgot what they call it.
Well, there's going to be some casualties. Let's say there's going to be some casualties of war. They have no problem with your children going across there and fighting for BS, and they're being a casualty. Like you and I can be a casualty,
and
we literally can, and it's not going to be a problem. Capitalism shows up in this case because it wouldn't, like if somebody got shot in New York. I'm certain people get shot in New York all the time, and it doesn't make national attention. The reason why it's so important is because he is a CEO. He's the class of people that are worth. You can't touch CEOs. They're untouchables.
Absolutely.
I think somebody said something earlier about untouchables. They're untouchables. You can't touch them.
Yep.
It's certain classes of people that get more attention. I'm saying even some of us, like, let's say something happened to, I'm talking about, it's still BS. Oh, Dr. Winkler got shot. You would imagine, he was a professor. Like You see what I'm saying? Like you get to get a news thing, because you have some level of status. I'm talking about even little statuses like that, but all the way up to that level though, you get so much, you get even more attention.
No way.
I guarantee is
He should be
worldwide
taxed.
attention, right?
Exactly.
Because
They made sure
white
of it.
CEOs can't get shot in this country, right?
Cannot.
But white poor people can.
Ooh.
White poor black people can. And black people can. I don't care what class you are. Black people can get shot. You dig?
Yeah, and you can go and fight in the military and be white, any color, get shot and die. They have no problem with that.
So violence begets violence, and this system is violent.
Yep.
Am I one-sided? Brother JT asked. I forgot why he's asking that question, but no, I'm never one-sided.
I think always the parts of capitalism. That's what his brother said.
I mean, there's aspects of, again, anything that might seem good. I say that the devil got to tell you some truths in order to help you believe his lies. So he got, he got to tell you some truths in order for you to believe his lies.
Whoa. The devil.
Is capitalism in this society what's happening in this society, and if you want to call it capitalism or not, all the benefits, many of the benefits that we see in society comes at the cost of other people's lives.
Yeah.
Comes at the other people's expense.
Yes.
It doesn't serve us as a community. It doesn't serve collectives. It doesn't serve humans. Capitalism doesn't serve elders. It doesn't serve old people. It doesn't serve people who can't work. It doesn't serve. In fact, they're so upset that in these social programs that they did put out, the real capitalists say, "We back." Guess who's back? The real capitalists are back. Y'all try to do all those social programs and try to put a Band-Aid on this. We're going to take all those Band-Aids off. Yep. We're going to take all those Band-Aids off and show y'all who's back. We're taking all those Band-Aids off, those what they call social programs. Look, we're going to get rid of this and we're going to get rid of that. And that's why we know those things don't work when you put Band-Aids on top of a wound that hasn't healed. You put Band-Aids and you think that you're going to keep putting the Band-Aid over top of it, like that's going to do a thing. You got to actually probably get stitches. And then you might have to become an amputee and put a whole new prosthetic. Something's got to happen, right? So it's not. It doesn't matter whether or not there's good aspects. I mean, ice cream is good to you, but is it good for you? I mean, that's neither here or there. That's kind of like one of those things, like what a husband tells his wife, like, I treated you good. I smacked the shit out of you, but don't I pay the bills? I smack the shit out of you every day, but don't I pray to God? I smack the shit out of you every day, but don't I come home? Don't I come home? Do I come home or not? You don't know what I used to do.
Nah, you crazy.
I used to be bad.
It's to beat women. Now I'm just slapping you.
Yeah. Like, it's one of those things. Like, yeah. But don't I tell you I love you though? I mean, don't I feed you good? I know I smacked the shit out of you. But don't I feed you good? I know. See, you don't have you're not hungry. The trauma you got ain't from your hunger because I feed you. It might be from the smack, but at least give me my credit for feeding you. I'm smacking you, and you're complaining about it. But while I'm smacking you, in the midst of you, I'm smack at the mid. I mean, I just smacked you, and I want you to I want you still to tell me how I fed you. Didn't I feed you? Just pow! Didn't I feed you though? Don't cry. Like, I mean, like.
So you're saying capitalism is giving something, but it's definitely taking a lot.
Every system needs to. They fed slaves.
Yeah,
enslaved people.
Exactly.
They fed enslaved people and even had tricked them to believe that they could not be fed without them. that they needed them, that is godly ordained. They had, that was the thing. Ain't I a good master? Ain't I a good, look, the master talk like that too. Ain't I a good master? Don't I treat my slaves better than any? People had these conversations. He's the best slave master in the area.
Say it.
You dig? So I get it. I'm certain he's done more humane things on his plantation. I'm certain he may have not raped little girls, but he might have raped the women. I'm certain he might not rape the women, but he raped the men. I'm certain he might not rape nobody, but he did keep them in shackles 1/3 of the day or 2/3. Like, I'm certain maybe he did none of those things. Maybe he had the most humane conditions, but you couldn't escape if you wanted to.
Yep.
He held you against your will, and he made profit off of you.
Yep.
So, Queen, it's 11:22. We've been here for 1:15.
What I do with it, number. So what's the solution? We gotta drop a solution. How can we grow from this? We know what happened. The country needs to grow and change the way it does things, especially how we do healthcare and insurance. Insurance is a problem in this country. That structure needs to be revamped. But again, as a whole, what is the solution to capitalism, to being oppressed, to the feelings that we see that's been generated from this act, what they call an act of terror?
Organized.
Some call an act of revolution.
Really, really organized. Like, this ain't new. We don't need no new solutions. We just need people to carry them out. I'm not even gonna say we don't have solutions. I'm just gonna say that we give enough excuses why we don't carry them out.
Got it.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody's I guarantee you they're looking for solutions against our solutions. They're fighting every day to fight for your minds and your behinds not to join and organize.
Exactly.
Stop allowing us to have excuses. Like, even with my dear brother JT, ain't there some good sugar? Ain't there some good parts of it though?
What's the good parts?
The good part is that he gets to live pretty. But brother, I see that shirt on your back. That's a nice shirt.
Yeah, that's nice.
That's a nice shirt, brother. You see your office? Oh yeah, look, you got a nice little African statue back there. You know what I mean? Like, oh yeah, you got a nice car, don't you? The good parts is all the parts why what you calling good ain't nothing.
Yeah,
it makes a few people feel good.
We just a little comfortable.
Didn't you get an education? Oh yeah, and then got a whole lot of debt too. You want to help me pay for it? So
that's it.
In this country, in other countries that we say are not as advanced and uncivilized in third world, even have free education.
Education is free, baby. That's right.
And then we have been tricked to fight against these very countries to think that somebody gonna have to help me flesh this out. Oh, they call everybody dictators.
Yeah.
I think like everybody's a dictator. Oh, look at these dictators. Like, and that just instantly it just go through your body. Like, I think
as if we don't live under dictators. I think
it's a trick every 4 years. I just think it's a trick.
Dictator.
It's like, okay, we're gonna make you feel like we're gonna do something. You're gonna get tired of that, and we're gonna trick you to have the other people think they gonna do something, and then you're gonna get tired of them. You might give them another 4 years, but you're gonna get tired of them because you're gonna realize they ain't gonna get you ish. So then it's gonna be another 4 years. But if we only had one person, we're gonna call it a dictatorship. But what we have is a combined dictatorship. We ain't gonna just call it that. We just gonna switcheroo. It's called a duopoly. We just gonna switcheroo on you, and we're gonna make you get mad over here. And it's like trauma. You get mad at your homegirl, you get mad at your friends, you get mad at your mother, and then you go and hang with these other friends that you were mad at before, but you forgive them because now you're mad at them. Now you're talking about them over there to them, and then at some point you gonna get mad at them, and then you're gonna start then you're gonna go back over there with your mama and them, and then you're gonna start talking about them because we just swing back and forth, swing back and forth. You got like the boxers. They got What you got? Bob and weave. You know, all that type of thing. You know, I don't think. I think it's, you know, yeah. So
I think we're definitely getting played. I agree. We're getting played by this Democrat, the Republican, all of this foolishness we're listening to, and they all are throwing us under the bus. Really, be careful.
Yeah. So Queen, I don't have much more.
All right. Well, thank you everyone for your input. We had a new person, the Jamon M93. We appreciate you. And your last question, we did discuss his goals, so please go back and watch. And I tell everyone, please go back, comment, like, share, subscribe, check us out. We're here every Thursday, Doc in the Box. Dr. Jai's dropping jewels, research, info. Please come through. Let's grow this space so we can talk about things that affect our lives and affect our minds. Mindsets matter. And we definitely got to look at things and flip them over and look at them again. What we see is not what we see. I want to tell everybody good night. Stay warm. Peace. We out.
I'm telling you, when you claim you're Africanist, you're going to get your mind back. Black and proud. Claim you're African. Black and proud. I'm telling you, when you claim you're Africanist, you're going to get your mind back. Black and proud. Claim you're African. Black and proud. I'm telling you, become a part of it. Embrace it. 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 When you claim you're Africanist, you're going to get your mind back. Black and proud. Claim you're African. Black and proud. I'm telling you. When you claim you're Africanist, you're going to get your mind back. Black and proud. Claim you're African. Black and proud. I'm telling you.